Metroid, my favorite game series of all time. This game, not so much.
So, Metroid for the NES. Waiting a bit at the title screen will take you to the only storyline in the game, which says that your mission is to destroy the Mother Brain. It's Zebes, not Zebeth. Intergalactic bounty hunter Samus Aran says, yeah, whatever, and off we go, we're hunting aliens. Samus' goal is to travel alone through the planet Zebes, collect power-ups, and defeat the only two bosses in this game, Kraid and Ridley, who both look like they're related to Barney the dinosaur. Metroid takes a platforming element from Mario and crosses it with a discovery element from Zelda, making this an incredibly non-linear game. Take this for example where if you're playing for the first time then you might think to go to the right, only to find out that you need to turn your ass around and go to the left. Along the way to completing your mission, you have to kill lots of enemies, which is hard to do when you start off because of your pathetically short B weapon. Not to mention you can't shoot diagonally or down, and you can't crouch and shoot either, which absolutely sucks because a large majority of enemies are too small for you to kill anyway. Eventually though you get the long beam, which lets Samus' beam travel across the entire screen, something I'm very sure that Mega Man and the guys from Contra don't need in the first place. As well as a short ass beam, you also start off with 30 units of energy instead of 99, like in the later games, which will cause you to die a lot because the damage output of the enemies is so high that it's hardly fair. But an easy way to refill your health is to collect energy tanks, which will also add another 100 units. If you don't feel like using a beam, you do have the option of using missiles instead, which has an ammo capacity but are definitely more powerful. Try not to waste too much though, because if you die, not only do you respawn with the amount of missiles you had, but you also start with 30 units of energy again, which means you'll have to do a crap load of grinding in order to get to full health again. Not only that, but when at low health, you get this incredibly irritating beeping noise and it won't stop. That is until you get a certain amount of energy back. Because this is a non-linear game, that means you're going to get lost quite a number of times because there's no freaking map in this game. And not only that, a few of the power-ups are cryptic to find because they require you to either bomb or shoot a block that blends in with the others. And it certainly doesn't help that a lot of the areas look alike from one another. As for the bosses, the correct order is to defeat Kraid and then Ridley, but I'll tell you now, go after Ridley first, because if you watch what I'm doing, then you'll see that he's so piss easy it's almost impossible to lose. Power-ups are a lot of fun to use, with my favorite one being the screw attack, because it's essentially a somersault of death. Defeating both Kraid and Ridley will give you access to the final area which holds the nastiest enemies in the game, the Metroids. It's odd to think for a game called Metroid we don't run into anything by the same name until the very end. Kill these little bastards as fast as you can, because if they latch onto you, they will literally suck your life out. The final area also holds these annoying as hell SpaghettiOs known as Rinkas, and like all other enemies in the game, they constantly respawn. So here's the mastermind herself, the Mother Brain, the leader of the evil alien empire known as the Space Pirates. You break the glass, turn the brain into a pile of jelly, and you have to escape the planet before it explodes. The mission is complete, and beating the game in under a few hours will reveal that, holy crap, Samus is a girl? Yes, she was the very first video game heroine, which influenced other game developers to not quite be so sexist when it comes to their main characters. No, Tomb Raider didn't do it first. If you manage to beat the game, you're able to play as Samus without her power suit, who now suddenly looks like Terra from Final Fantasy VI. Metroid isn't a bad game, but it's certainly not great either. The graphics are okay for NES standards, and the music is freaking awesome, although unfortunately it's ruined by Samus' incredibly loud footsteps. Jesus lady, you're not carrying 1,000 tons in that armor. If you're a casual gamer, then it's probably best to stay away from this game. But if you're a hardcore gamer or a fan of Metroid, then at least give this a try. Just print yourself out a map. Metroid for the NES gets a 7 out of 10. Why is the password so long?
Alright, now before I go, I just want to give a quick shout out to a video game channel which, up to this date, I found about a couple weeks ago, and it's known as Sassy Gaming. What makes this channel different from other video game review channels is that the host is a female. Well, we don't really see too many of them reviewing games nowadays, and I personally thought that's quite a nice change. And the reviews themselves are just gold. They're short, but at the same time they're very informative, and they're very funny. Not to mention that I personally think that the reviewer herself is probably going to be one of the most beautiful things on this planet. Anyway. It's kind of unclear as to how often she uploads a new video, but from what I've looked at from her previous videos, they don't look like they take too long to make. And finally, she's quite into her movies as well as her video games, which is kind of a shame for me, really, because I've always wanted a friend like that who's also a girl. But anyway, check this channel out. The videos are just pure genius, And it's shocking to think that this channel isn't known too well. She already has an okay number of subscribers and viewers, but they can definitely be better. So go on, help her out. As for me, if you want to see me do more detailed reviews, then you can check out my other video game review channel, Reviews Yesteryear. And like Sassy Gaming, help me get my ratings high as well. I also have a movie making channel under the name JLD Spielberg, which is me. Well, my last name's not Spielberg, but anyway. Rate, comment, subscribe, and most importantly, share these videos. Not just for this channel, but for all the channels I've mentioned, including Sessy's. The links to all these channels they're in the description box, so go on, click away, watch. I hope you've enjoyed this first episode of the fast-paced reviews, and I hope you'll enjoy the further ones yet to come. I'm Josh Smith. See you later.